So it's no secret that ever since 2020, there's been a ton of crime. And it's gotten so bad to where people just walk into stores and think it's normal to go and steal a bunch of stuff. It's always a Walgreens. Why is it always a Walgreens? I feel bad for them, but you know what? Y'all should hire somebody with a gun or promote it to people who carry guns. I swear to God, I've seen it so many times. People just walking in, grabbing a whole bunch of deodorants, throwing them in a lawn bag and walking out. Thanks, guys. Maybe I'll tip you next time. I gotta tell you, it's the weirdest dynamic that we have. Watch this.
Walking to the Sunoco Friday morning, the clerk walks in behind them. Surveillance shows one of the teens put a bag of chips in his pants. Both teens leave. The clerk walks out to confront them. The teens walk away. It's the last time we see them on surveillance.
He had his car keys in his hand, and he started yelling to them to come back. He's like, hey, hey. They initially looked back at him and they flipped him off, and then they continued on their way, and he was saying, hey, again, hey, come back here, and then they started jogging. The witness says the clerk followed the teens in his car. He turned to kind of pull up beside them, and that's when I was up and I was turning the opposite way. Next thing you know, I heard 2 gunshots, and I looked back and I could see the shooter firing more shots at the car. He saw the teens run away in different directions. Rushing to help the clerk, he calls 911. And I'm sitting there saying, hey, buddy, man, hey, dude, are you okay? So when I looked in through the window, he seemed to be unresponsive. Community activist Quanell X says the shooter, 17-year-old Mario Young, and the second teen are claiming self-defense, saying the clerk had a gun.
Did you notice any guns or weapons inside the car?
I didn't see any guns. I didn't see a gun on the seat or next to him.
So I'm just trying to understand this. Y'all try to go aggress on somebody's property, their personal property. The guy owns the store, or he works at the store, and his job is to protect the store. Y'all steal something. He goes to try to retrieve the item, and y'all shot him simply because he was trying to go get the stuff you stole? The guy didn't even have a gun. Now I'm trying to figure this out and put myself in the clerk's shoes, because if I worked at a gas station, I would probably put up a sign that says, we will use deadly force in order to protect a fucking candy bar. Now, I know that sounds outrageous to some people, but it's a pretty simple thing. If you are a person out there who thinks that you can steal from somebody, you're taking the risk that they're not going to use deadly force against you, that they're not going to use any means necessary to make sure that you're not getting over on them. I mean, there's got to be a line drawn somewhere, right? What is worth your life? A candy bar? Deodorants? A TV? A bunch of jewelry? I'm not materialistic, so I don't understand this whatsoever. Live within your means. If you want something, if you want candy bars, if you want jewelry, go get a job and work harder. But I am tired of seeing this and the responses that come from it. Oh, it's just a candy bar. Oh, they just stole something. Did you make the conscious decision to fuck a person over by stealing from them? Did you? Well, then what you're doing is you're leaving it up to the person as far as what their judgment is. He may be pissed off because some fuckers go into a store every other day and steal stuff. It's not an all-you-can-eat buffet. You see a price tag there? It's not for looks. Everyone, big thank you to Blackout Coffee for sponsoring today's video. They just came out with their premium instant coffee. Probably some of the best instant coffee I've ever tried. Oh, that's good. Now, for those of you who are more aggressive coffee drinkers like me, I'm talking like a pot of coffee before noon. The 5-pound bag. If you have a roast you really like, Brutal Awakening for me, just makes sense. But more importantly than all that, right now in America, it is so important for us to support companies who support Trump, who support our side, who are willing to fight alongside him. So we're giving you a discount code below the video. Go support an amazing business and get some amazing coffee. Now here's the crazy part. Jesus Christ, dude. If all of that wasn't enough, one of the people who were involved in the shooting wasn't even charged.
This afternoon, we are hearing from community activists supporting a grand jury's decision not to indict a 17-year-old who'd been charged with murdering a convenience store clerk in Humble. The shooting happened back in January. The clerk shot and killed after getting in his car to chase after 2 shoplifters who'd stolen a bag of chips. Community activists say that the teens were defending themselves.
But I said from the very beginning, when I turned these 2 young men in, that there was a lot more to this story that needed to come out. and that I was confident that once the truth came out, they would see that this case was self-defense.
Both teenagers surrendered in the case, but only one faced charges.
Okay, let me get this right. You go into somebody's business and you steal from them. I don't care if it's a Tic Tac, I don't care if it's a candy bar, I don't care if it's $100,000. To me, it's all the same. It's the principle, it's not the amount. But you go in there and you steal something from them, they go over to you and try to retrieve it. You shoot them, claim that it's self-defense just because he was chasing you to get his stolen property back, and then you're not charged? This is a failed society if people are okay with this, if this doesn't piss people off. And it comes from one thing. We have complicated everything in this country. Go back to the good old days. If you went into a saloon and tried to steal something there, every single person would take a shot at you. And if they didn't take a shot at you, they would chase you down, and if you pulled your gun, they would shoot you. Now, I'm not saying that's the correct use of force for a candy bar or whatever it is, but there has to be something in place to get this crap to stop. And it's not going to be people changing their morals, because that's been proven to be absolutely horrible nowadays. Oh, I can steal from that person. They're doing good. It's cool. Don't you believe in something? Don't you believe in something greater than yourself? Don't you believe in you reap what you sow? Fuck karma. I don't believe in that, but I believe in you reap what you sow. And there is a difference. I don't know. Something's got to change, but I have a solution to this. The prosecutors and the DAs in the country, y'all need to get a grip on what self-defense is, because in a lot of states, people are scared to defend themselves. Well, if I defend my home from a burglar and I shoot him, am I going to be charged with murder? People have that legitimate thought process, and it's stupid, but it's not their fault. All these DAs would rather charge a person in self-defense instead of charge a person who stole something and then shot at the store clerk.